left you on the Saffron Lady just so you can double check, make sure that your hit point and other feature counts are at the right numbers right now.
Why is it not automatically?
That's the wrong folder.
And
Hello.
once you've all confirmed that your numbers are accurate, we will move on.
Thanks a lot, Bob. But now I want to get a massage.
Never actually had a massage.
Yes, my numbers are correct.
Yep, mine's good.
Yeah, mine are correct, and they're the only ones that matter anyway, so.
Let me make sure. Yeah. That's certainly a number.
131?
Yeah.
That is a number.
I only use fixed values because I don't trust my luck.
Mm-hmm.
I've only been to a casino once, and that one time was a very bad time.
Fair enough. So, previously, your journey has taken you across the plains to finally meet with Primus, who is apparently the figurehead of the Modrons, who, as a collective, are the spirit of order. And then you went on a journey through space and through the depths of the abyss in order to find the spirit who calls itself competition.
The literal fucking devil.
There are several figures who fill that role.
True,
Yeah.
but
Also, devils are lawful evil.
look, I'm just saying Aravan is a very specific thing, but yes.
Mm-hmm. And now, once again, you find yourselves back on Mynth, back in Vienna. And, how long did you want to take for downtime this time around?
4, apparently.
Okay. I don't know, 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months
That's my
sounds good.
vote.
Yeah, sure.
That is an upset roommate. I've
Enough
noticed
time for my honeymoon.
before. Fair enough. With that in mind, I assume the wedding happens in the top half of those 6 months, so who do you invite?
Everyone.
Free booze, why not?
I mean, look, this is an event. This is Aurelia is going to invite basically everyone she can. Obviously, all of the party members and associates that we've dealt with, other important people.
Time to get a nice blender of my own.
Don't steal my gifts.
Okay, can I at least steal from the guests?
Okay, listen, you're gonna have like
Only
3
the
blenders.
ones from Okar.
You're gonna have like 3 blenders. I'm pretty sure it's fine if Lilly steals 1.
Okay, I'll take the food processor, it's fine.
And again, free booze, why not?
All right. I suppose Grenache is going to make an appearance.
Not really much else to do.
Man, just free food and easy marks. It's a good time.
And
Somebody
we'll be
harangues Lake at the door for not wearing shoes, and Aurelia's like, no, it's fine, just let them in.
Oh, no. All of Aurelia's staff is familiar with you by this point.
Yeah.
Like,
You
at
sure
most,
I can't convince you to wear shoes just this one time?
I'm fairly certain you can not convince me to wear shoes just this one time.
It's fine, the rug has real good foot feel.
Yeah.
I do not believe that Lake can feel anything with their feet.
Just fucking pure callus. Just a
To
brick
be
of
fair,
callus.
Lake would not be the only person shoeless at this event. Like, you would be inviting some of the, some of the members of the Senate who are halflings.
Yeah, fair enough. I will say, Bobbin, just as a sort of retrospective thing, I really feel like there was a missed opportunity in this campaign. At some point at the midway mark, you should have given Lake an incredibly good magic item, but had it be boots. Just to see whether Kalen would compromise his principles or not.
No. They would have gone to someone else.
Me. I appreciate nice shoes.
And also, my starting magic item way back when we first started the campaign were shoes of stealth, but Bobbin converted them to, like, anklets. Anklets
of elven kind.
All right. Anyway,
they were provided by the mother tree.
Yep.
Of course, anyone who is anyone in Viana is invited, and I assume there is probably some kind of, secondary festivities for the various common folk as well.
As I said, free food and easy marks.
Because the prince getting married is a public occasion.
Yeah.
State
affair.
Exactly.
So many rich people. So many rich drunk people.
Mm-hmm. And so you bring along, let's say, everyone on the list as well?
Yeah. I think basically anyone who has
Lake's extended family tree.
And of course, who knows if she'll actually come, but Aurelia will make her best effort to go into the Feywild and get an invitation to her mother.
God, fucking Olgaroth partying.
Olgaroth partying is going to be a sight.
All I can picture is just Harvey standing off in a corner.
Total wallflower.
Exactly.
And I will say that Olgaroth is what you might call a sober drunk. He's always at least a little loaded whenever you see him, so his personality doesn't change that much when he gets to actually drinking.
Nice.
Speaking of wallflowers, I guess Bunash will have company.
God, how will the wizard Wilmington dress?
Same sort of outfit, but now it glitters.
Yes! Just made of sequins. I love him. Friend and confidant, Wizard Wilmington.
Mm-hmm.
Still fucking blows my mind that he's an XP for one of the PCs in the previous campaign.
A bit of one.
But is he the only one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Don't want to get too self-referential.
No.
Not that we would ever catch it unless you directly told us.
Well, that's kind of why, yeah.
Look, what's better than in-jokes that only you get?
So, the event goes off with plenty of hitches, but nothing that can't be smoothed over.
Including the big hitch. Getting hitched.
I get it.
And there's a lovely ceremony with a few foreign elements that you notice the priests that are just sort of lined up along the back are just sort of scowling at.
They'll live.
Oh man, people to fuck with.
But yeah, the transition of adding an entirely new god and a half is not going to go down too smoothly here.
It's worth it.
Look, you just gotta believe.
All right, and
It does Aurelia's mom accept the invitation and come?
The most loaded fucking question.
She will go in personally to try to get her to, but you know, she's not the type to hold to schedule. So I understand if it might be difficult.
I'm just wonky.
In fact, she
anyway.
literally would not understand like the concept of a schedule. So Aurelia would probably have to literally go and bring her back with her.
Oh, Mom is today, but today is also yesterday and tomorrow.
you are unable to convince the Fae court to let you speak with her this time. But among the presents that you receive that day is a single rose with both white and red petals that have somehow mixed together out and come out of one plant.
Oh my god, did I just found the Tudor dynasty?
Now that's a joke you can get as a British person.
All right, well, I will take very good care of that.
But is this not even a fucking blender or a food processor? It's fucking trash.
Well, regardless, you do return. You do go on your extended active honeymoon with Silky on the plain of Arcadia.
Nice.
She has an amazing time hunting some of the wild beasts there, and you stick close to the portal back to the Outlands, so that you can enjoy Party City as much as you want.
Oh right, I forgot Party City was right next to Arcadia.
How did you ever forget
Nice.
that?
Look, we visited a lot of portal cities. They kind of ran together at a certain point.
Not true. There was the one with the orphanage, and then there was the one opposite of that had like the cluster orphans.
The orphanage that was in the plane.
Oh right.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, hooray. Oh yeah, and Aurelia totally presented that nice, like, fancy sword she had made for Silky. I feel like maybe it's a customary thing in Vienna, you know, to present a gift to your spouse when you get married. So Silky probably gave something, you know, personal to Aurelia as well, but you don't have to decide what that is.
Well, it would probably be a musical instrument,
That didn't make sense.
just for one of the ones that you don't have a magic version of, like a new viol.
Oh yeah, okay, that'd be good. Yeah, nice. A solid gold fiddle.
No, you're marrying
All
a
right.
snake, not winning a bet against the devil.
Well, stuff is happening to the other characters as well during these 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah, things happen, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm. For instance, Grenache.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, while you're in town, you are approached by a out-of-breath priestess. You can tell from the tabard she wears that she is a priestess of Enteria, the chief goddess of the Empire of Okar, and one of the 2 gods that you worship.
Yeah, that strikes me as odd. I'd go to assist immediately.
Can't believe this
Would you
nerd double
happen to be?
dips.
Would you happen to be Grenache?
That would be me. Well, are you okay?
Oh, praise the goddess, she has led me right. There is trouble down south. The people over which I am the custodian are in need of help. And it's not just my particular flock that's in need either. There is a tribe beyond the southern border. They were lured by the power demonstrated by the worm during the Great Plague, not 2 years past. Or more than 2 years past at this point.
Like 2.5 or 3 by now.
Yeah, about 3 years.
What do you need me to do?
I called upon the goddess for aid. She told me to find you, told me where to find you. You must come at once.
Of course.
And she speaks the word of recall, and pop, down you go.
Alrighty.
So essentially what is happening here is that you are having yourself a solo off-screen adventure.
Alrighty.
Grenache doing Grenache things, you know.
Mm-hmm. And you soon learn that essentially one of the goblin tribes that was not hit as hard by the zombie plague way back when has been lured by the power and the scope of the attack and decided to worship the worm that caused it. And their prayers were answered. And it has led to them gaining power and essentially consuming some of the other goblin folk villages and tribes. And yeah, during those 6 months, you gather up a force of adventurers, promising farm kids who seem to have great futures ahead of them, taking on a mentor and leadership role. Fortunately, not the kind of mentor who always has to die, but the kind who has to disappear towards the end.
Okay, I was about to say, like, does Grenache become a ghost at the end of this?
Nah, Grenache becomes a lich, it's fine.
You know, it's strange. He probably just shrinks in size and becomes a Yoda.
Becomes a corn cob.
I don't know. Lilly wouldn't have to shrink in size.
Wow, fuck you too. See how it is, motherfucker.
But yeah, just go ahead and fill in any details you want for this.
Well, while he would be gathering people together for this kind of thing, he would make sure to prioritize the fact that they look out for each other and they don't get close to anyone who is infected the best they can, and those who are stay close to him effectively, because he's fully aware that he has that protection over himself, and it goes to those who are
specifically from temper.
Yeah. So he advises anyone, okay, those in the back, stay further away. Healers, make sure you're prepared to help those in need. Anyone else who's up front with me, just make sure I take the lead.
All right. Well, aside from the part where you have to get called away suddenly and the people you lead get to grow into their own.
Yeah, but
as is thematically proper.
Yeah, but with the initial start of, because you gotta assume that with this rogue goblin lot, they basically heard about the worm, prayed to it, and then got infected by it willingly. So again, it goes back to the fact that there's only one solution to that. So yeah, he wants to make sure that that unfortunate business is ended before disappearing.
Before it can spread.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's what happens. You apparently die in the middle of a battle, but actually you just get separated and have to fight your way through from behind enemy lines.
Yeah. I can see that. Gunash ends up picking up someone who might end up being a leader of sorts, a shaman of some kind, who seems to directly commune with the worm, goes directly for them, leaves the rest of them behind, unfortunately, and gets lost in the melee. The others believe that Gunash has not made it out, but Gunash doesn't go down that easily.
Yeah, when you come back, your outfit is white now instead of gray.
And then you whistle and it's like some weird horse comes to you. It's like, when did you get that?
To be fair, the only reason it's white is because you finally fucking washed them.
The thing is, I didn't wash them willingly. I fell into a river to get out of it.
First bath Grenache has had in years.
Yeah, but now Grenache just smells like wet orc.
All right. And Lilly.
Yeah, huh?
It's not long after the big wedding. Aurelia and Silky have departed for a different plane of existence, but you and Marlia are just sort of hanging out,
no.
catching up on what you've been up to. She's been continuing to wander, avoiding combat and other forms of direct confrontation, but otherwise staying busy and doing good deeds. Seems to have gotten used to it. Seems to be enjoying her life a lot better than when she was working for the worm. Anything you focus on when talking to her? That you want to share with the class?
So does the name Aramon mean anything to you?
Can't say as it does.
Okay. Lovely person. They even gave me something for stealing tea.
More than just the tea? How generous.
Look, it was really good tea. You don't understand. It was not as good as yours, but pretty good.
Can't even remember the last time I served you tea.
Don't worry about it. Look,
Well, hey, Lilly, is that you?
Oh, fuck. Yes.
You turn, and in the street is an orc. Not a half-orc, but a straight-up orc. One that you recognize from some of your earlier years.
Oh, Jesus. Ah. Yes?
What he goes by is Tiny.
Yeah,
And,
it's funny because he's not.
Right. And he was one of those other off-the-books adventurers. The folks that you call in when you need something done, but you don't need the Adventurers Guild to make a log of it.
Actually, could you wait 1 second? And Lilly goes back inside and finds a secluded room and just screams really loudly. He goes back outside. So what is it? What's up?
Well, and I'd just like to say it's a good thing you're here too, Marlia, because I could use all the help I could get.
Could you?
You see, I need to pull off one last job, and
Oh, fuck.
I need to cash in that favor you owe me.
Oh my fucking god! Lilly is slowly cracking.
You can just see the smile on her face just getting a little less sincere and a little more demented.
Now, you see, the reason I'm calling this one last job is because I finally got myself enough money to settle down the way I wanted to.
Go on.
There's a girl.
Ah, it's always a girl.
But there's something special about this girl.
There always is, yes.
And thing is, her Paul is in kind of this rivalry with this wizard fella. I mean, they're both wizards, so it makes sense.
Oh no! Oh no!
The wizard.
Oh, the other wizards calls himself the Wizard Windlass.
What a dumb fucking name.
Well, I think it's supposed to be appropriate, because I hear he's working on building power sources for them newfangled flying ships. And now he's built some great, amazing new power source that takes the same amount of power, but one... I weren't paying too much attention. Point is, her...
Yeah, I'm shocked to go on.
On how to make it. The one...
You cut out.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And it wants it from his rival.
You cut out really bad.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Boy, ain't this just a pretty picture. Anyhow. The old man's told me that if I can get this for him, prove I ain't just a normal orc, then he'll accept my marrying his daughter.
I mean, really, who am I to get in the way of love? She says,
Other than your
staring
own.
daggers at him.
Well, like I said, I was hoping to get both you and Marlia. You both owe me something, and as far as I'm concerned, as soon as this job is done, we're as even as can be.
Yeah, I know. I'm willing to help. If she wants to help, that's up to her. I ain't gonna tell her what to do.
Well, he's right. He did save our lives that one time.
Yeah, but did he really? It was his fault in the first place.
Well, it was our fault for accepting the job in the first place. We knew what we knew what we was up against, and we knew what he would do in that kind of situation.
I mean, yeah, but fuck. Okay. God.
Besides, I think it's been, what, 5-7 years now since we worked together on a job? I ain't counting that.
Fucking really.
I ain't gonna count that time in Shadowfell. That were too chaotic. A lot of folks involved on that one.
It was a hot mess. It really was.
And yet none of them died.
I can't believe my dad was cool.
But not too cool.
Not cool enough. But more than just like dad cool is the problem. It's a real crisis of faith because of it.
But yes. So just like Grenache, this is an off-screen adventure.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
So, aside from the usual things happening of gathering a crew, planning out the route, someone inevitably double crosses someone else, but then it turns out to be all right because everybody was expecting the double cross, or at least made a contingency for it.
Or the double cross was part of the plan to begin with.
I mean, the problem is the one last job cliche has happened so many times that people expect it.
That's why you need the quadruple cross.
I like to imagine that everyone's double crossing everybody else.
Nah, Lily's playing it pretty straight. She just wants this fucking done with.
The old grizzled veteran. That's why it's your one last job.
How old is Lilly?
Fuck, I don't know. She started this at like 23. So...
Okay. Well, she's probably like, what, 20... Well, when did she join?
That's around level 8.
Yeah, she's probably like 28 or 29 now or something like that.
Getting ancient for a goblin.
Getting into the middle age range.
I believe it's been about 5.5 years since the start of the campaign, if I've kept track correctly.
Lilly did join partway through, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's why I'm less sure for Lilly, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the first few levels went a bit faster in terms of downtime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like half of that has been since the zombie thing, so...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten really lazy as of late.
Torpo.
I mean, Relay has responsibilities. I don't know what the hell
What
you
else
guys...
do you want to have happen during this adventure?
Well, you see, At one point, Lilly and Marlia end up locked in a death trap together, and they both believe that they're about to die.
Sorry, I stepped out of my room for a second to pour some fucking water, and I think I saw a cat sneak in here, the little fucking shit. Fucking to kick her ass. Ah! It's out of my keyboard.
If it's her ass, then it's not Ollie.
No, it's Lilly.
Yeah. As I was saying, what do you want to have happen during this adventure?
Oh no.
Personally, I really do like this gesture.
I mean, that's very tempting.
Caught in a wizard's death trap, moments to live. You don't know if you're making it out of this alive or not. You can't die with a burden on your soul, Lilly.
I mean,
a little angel in the form of Aurelia appears on her.
Lily's never gonna die.
Lily's very confused. Normally it's just two devils.
One saying do it, and the other one says, I agree with that guy.
She looks at Marlia dead on, and it's just two things. First off, never let me fucking agree to this ever again. Ever.
That's what you always say.
You shut the fuck up. No, that was very rude. I'm sorry. That's not the time for that. Look, I'm very bad at this. Like, taking complicated emotions and converting them to anger is all I've known, and it's left me emotionally stunted
and physically stunted.
Beat you to it, fucker.
Fair.
And look, I'll never have the one last job. I will never quit. This is my life. This is what I love. So I mean, I'll never have that excuse either. What I'm saying is, Marlia, I really like you. And just fucking Lilly curls up, not knowing what to do.
And then the death trap breaks, and Tiny pops his head through a hatch and says, I fixed it.
Lilly just fucking leaps and grabs him by the throat. Why are you like this? Why did you do this to me? I was having a moment.
It's a trap. Just leave your life. This is what you do to repay me.
This is the double cross.
You have fucked me repeatedly. Just fucking let's go. Stands up, dusts herself off. Whatever. What's been said? What's needed to be said.
I am going to add that after the job is done, and just before you and Marlia part ways, she's going to say, I think I know what you were going to say. And I'm flattered, but that's all I am.
Damn.
Bobbin, you monster!
Bobbin!
Completely.
Wow.
They can't all be happy endings.
You know what? You know what? That's fine. That's fine.
You know what? This'll let Lilly move on. You know,
I'm gonna go light the building on fire.
Aurelia is gonna help her out here. Aurelia is the best wing woman in the world.
Just turn around, go set the wizard tower on fire, even though you've already escaped.
Exactly. Yep. Catharsis. It's fine. Just means I'm not tied down.
Ooh, you should ask out the pirate lady.
100% yes. That is
Damn it, that was gonna be my next move.
Hey, well,
I'll,
Lily gets to go home and have a nice long cry after punching a hole in the wall.
I'll write a letter to Relosa and see if she can give me her address or space address or whatever. I don't know.
You can call her Solara now.
Oh, does she prefer that?
She really doesn't care. She's had a few names over the...
Well, I'm gonna call her Relosa then, because that's the name that I got to know her by. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I said Lily will not drink while sad.
Oh yeah, she was totally invited to the wedding too. By the way, you come?
Hard to get an address in space.
Well, you can use sending.
Oh, sure, they are on the same plane of existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sending sending is only slightly less accurate if you're going through different dimensions. So yeah, she'll show up. Always down for a party.
God, I love playing telephone. Yeah.
Nice.
Incognito, of course, but that's how she is most of the time.
Yeah, very fair.
But yeah, Lily refuses to get drunk while very sad because she knows it will only lead to problems.
Not everyone is, emotionally prepared for the life of announcing your name everywhere you go. name and title everywhere you go, and country of origin, and I mean, job,
fair,
basically.
Okay, so Timos, to be fair, nobody wanted to get on Temper because nobody saw Temper except for Grenache.
Yeah, Lake would have 100% tried to get on Temper.
Lily would just never stop joking about it.
Lake is the
I'm just glad
resident.
you guys got a character moving on too.
Lake is the resident horny one. I'm just saying.
Lily's just gonna spend 6 months depressed in bed.
Well, 4 months. Planning the planning the wedding and then the heist do take some.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It'll only be like a month. And then what else? Who knows? To be fair, I do have some ideas where I want to go with Lily in the long run, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, you better start putting them together because you only got like 2 or 3 adventures left.
True.
Yeah, there's not much of a long run left.
And more men. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, so after a month, she'll just actually get back to work, feel the need to pick herself up, and also start gathering some contacts.
All right.
Future reasons.
Well, I figure you'd have quite the network, especially through the Halfling Quarter by this point already.
Yeah, but start feeling around for people who would be in line with her plans. Because especially after Marlia kind of just stamping out any hope of that, she's got other plans in the future. Wilmington's discussion with her stuck some ideas in there. Some thoughts. And also, yes, I need to get in contact with the pirate lady.
Ate General Tso's chicken, and it gave you ideas.
I need Aurelia. I don't know how to feel about that.
Oh no.
Wait, what?
Yeah, when
Look,
you
nobody
guys are not, just saying, when you guys are not actively using the 2 spell jammers, they're pretty much constant.
Constant what? You cut out at constant.
Yeah.
All right. When you guys aren't using the spell jammers, they're constantly going on spice runs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. The spice must flow.
and Lake.
Yeah.
So at some point when you turn into a tree for really any amount of time, the mother tree will reach out to you and ask you for help.
Okay.
It's a trap.
A upside down tree has been discovered within the forest of Amnastacordia, and it is corrupting the earth around it in a slowly growing circle.
Get where Anastacordia is.
It is on the map.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'm trying to. Oh, there we are. Okay. It's literally where the mother tree is. Got it.
Yes. It is her forest. And, yes, the upside down tree appears to be spreading some sort of corruption into the plant life and animals surrounding it. And is spawning a bunch of vicious plant creatures that are just sort of trying to tear up the forest and make way as the corruption expands. They were discovered by a clan of lichen folk. The associated groups of lycanthropes who were used during the ancient battle between Amnasta and Okar, but have since become just sort of tenders of the forest, or guardians of the forest, out past where the elves generally live. And she wants you to find out who created the tree and destroy it or get rid of it before it can corrupt any of her children.
All right. Yeah, I will basically do that immediately. I guess I'll even take one of the spelljammers if they're not being used for spice runs, just to get there faster. Because I don't know teleportation. And I don't know if there's any teleportation circles in a giant forest.
Well, there is in the Elven City.
Oh, okay. Well then.
They didn't abandon the use of arcane magic entirely after the Grey Elf split. They just wanted to make sure it was used in service to the Mother Tree and not for selfish purposes.
All right, then teleportation will be faster. Instant is faster than an amount of time, after all.
Mm-hmm.
No,
But yes. Ultimately, you discover that this is the doing of a vampire who was, in life, a druid. And essentially wanted to infect the otherwise fey forest of Amnasta with the death of the Shadowfell.
Tree blight, got it.
Yes.
Right, I guess once I have figured that out, I will gather up as many of the Lycan folk and elves as possible and lay down exactly what's going on. And, you know, it's a vampire. I've dealt with... How many vampires at this point? 2? 3? Two, because the one in Forgotten Realms we literally never. So.
Yeah, you never met that one.
Yeah. I literally never met that vampire. So 2. I'll explain, exactly what's going on, how we kill it. Be prepared for invisibility shenanigans. That was real annoying. Although if it was a tree, it might have that. But either way, and I guess...
Yeah, it's still a vampire.
Yeah, it's still a vampire. So I'll lead whoever is willing to come with me, and we'll go slay a vampire and uproot a tree.
All right. Any
Vampire
sort of,
trees give the worst splinters.
any sort of specific incidents you want to have happen during your mini adventure?
He put me on the spot. Now, think of it.
Yeah, it's great. Your brain fucking locks up.
Yeah,
Isn't it wonderful?
It's like, oh, cool, I get to create something. Oh, no!
If you've got nothing, then say nothing and we move on.
Yeah, I've got nothing. If somebody else has something, because I know Visk came up with a very good idea for...
Tell me about your adventure with the
Wait, what are you trying to come
murder
up with?
tree.
Just a notable occurrence during the adventure.
Your adventure with Death Tree, the tree that
Lake is seduced by the vampire.
Please, it would be the other way around.
Death Tree,
You've
the tree
seen
that
my
eats.
charisma score.
I mean, it could be mutual.
Gaze in despair upon the taking tree.
Well, Lake does specifically have a thing that spins around
It's
charm effects.
That is true.
The vampire seduces itself while...
Actually, yes. Hold on. The vampire tries... I like to imagine that, Lake being, Lake has kind of gotten around in certain circles, and so the vampire is just tries to use the charm effect to seduce Lake, and it just bounces back on itself, and Lake's like, yeah, no, that's not gonna work, and then murders him.
Well, and then tracks down
Yeah.
the vampire's coffin.
Well, yeah.
Hungry, hungry tree.
And then also uproots the tree, because I'm pretty sure that's how you're supposed to build tree plates, is that you have to completely tear them out from their foundation.
What if
Well,
you just...
that's the thing, actually, is that the tree is uprooted.
Oh, okay.
It's upside down.
Oh, okay, so
Wow, fucking edgy.
the hard part is done for.
But yeah, essentially what you eventually have to do is return the tree to the Shadowfell, and you actually meet a few Shadarkai, the Shadowfell elves, who assist you in doing so. They may live there, but they're not actually evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time,
Sorry about our trees. We know they're fucked up. We try and keep them out of your place.
Normally, it's not a problem, but when crazy druids come along, who knows?
Yeah, no, crazy druids are gonna do crazy druid stuff. It's fine.
All right. And with that, 6 months pass. And it's at that point that you come together, maybe talk about what happened, maybe avoid talking about what happened in certain cases.
Lily just staring, just giving daggers with her eyes.
No, it's fine.
when they're-
Lily's moved on.
When they're telling the story about how the vampire tried to hit on Lake, and Lake was like, no.
It's fine. Lily's moved on. There was only a little bit of arson.
A little bit of arson and a little bit of sulking.
A little bit of arson in my life.
It's fine. I've gotten over it. I've put my all into my work. I'm doing great.
Look, Lily, if you want to hook up with someone, I can hook you up, so to speak.
You mind sometime getting me in contact with that pirate?
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
And instead of Harvey delivering the the report this time. You've actually got Lorem in here, who says, well, considering the conflicting interests between the primary residents of Limbo and the people that Harvey is from, I thought I would take it upon myself to do as much research as possible, seeing as you have stated that Limbo would be your next destination. So I've been discussing the nature of the plane with some of my colleagues at the college.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Well, the first thing we attempted to do was discern the nature of what a heart of Limbo could be. Now, the first hypothesis was that it would be the center of the chaotic energies that suffuse the plane, but this was discarded rather early on. Simply put, no one is aware of any rhyme or reason that connects or leads from less chaotic areas of Limbo to more chaotic areas of Limbo. There does not seem to be any sort of concentration leading in one direction, and any sort of nexus point is purely theoretical.
It's almost like it's chaotic.
Indeed. And in addition, there's also the fact that in order to traverse through Limbo, it is required that you tame the elements around you. And so the chaos becomes less chaotic in our presence. And therefore, we could never reach that kind of a heart. We push it away just by existing and willing ourselves to exist in that area. And so 2 alternate theories were proposed. I would like to hear your opinions on both of them.
Go on.
Well, species that reside on Limbo, and both of them have what you could say is a heart to their civilization.
Okay.
There are the Slab, the toad-like monstrosities that attempted to attack and destroy the Modrons during their march. I assume we all still recall that.
Yeah, they were messed up looking.
Indeed. Quite color coordinated as well. And then there are the Gith Zerai, whom we also came into contact with on multiple occasions.
Now, just to sort of check again out of character, the Githzerai are the jerks and the Gith Yankee are the assholes, or is it the other way around?
I think you got it right.
The Githzerai are the neutral, and the Githyanki are the expansionist evil race.
Right, okay. So, yes, that's what I meant by jerks and assholes.
Yep. One will destroy your planet because it's necessary. The other one will enslave your people because it's funny. Not because it's funny, but
Yeah. Well, they also see it as necessary, but just in a much more twisted way.
Yeah. Fucked up that a race that got created from escaping slavery just decided to go whole hog on slavery, but what are you gonna do?
So why do the Githzerai live in Limbo again?
Well, it is essentially because the only way to live in Limbo is to be constantly concentrating on your surroundings, to constantly be creating a mental just place a
You're cutting up real bad tonight.
Yeah. Sorry, you did that.
That's probably on my side. I've been having just sort of... My internet's been on a delay all day.
You've...
Alright, what was the last thing you heard clearly?
To survive in limbo, you have to concentrate on your surroundings constantly.
Yes, and you have to be exercising your mind, which is essentially what their whole civilization places emphasis on, to encourage mental exercise, to develop the sense of self, to have a constant internal discipline. And so they live in limbo because living in limbo is the greatest possible challenge.
Huh.
Sounds stupid, but okay.
Well, regardless, as I was saying, the heart of the Slod is a thing called the spawning stone. For the most part, the Slod can replicate their numbers, increase their numbers, by infecting hosts, who then either turn into or expel out juvenile Slod.
Gross.
Some of whom can undergo metamorphosis and become higher ranked castes. But they are also formed out of a spawning stone. Now, one of my colleagues has suggested that it was Primus himself who thrust the spawning stone into limbo as a conduit through which intelligent life forms could possibly traverse through limbo. But as a side effect, the chaotic energies that this stone channeled became the Slod.
Good old Primus.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Oh.
I am not entirely certain if this hypothesis is correct, but if it is true, then we should also discount it as a possible heart of limbo, since it is, well, it has an external source.
Yeah. But
then,
again, that's what rumors are.
But then, of course, so is the Githzerai heart.
Feel like the heart is something incredibly esoteric.
It may be, considering who we got this demand from. Anyway, the Githzerai have a heart of their own because they have a capital city on Limbo, Shrakitlor.
Okay.
That's certainly a name.
Yes. I assume it rolls off the tongue a little bit better in Gith.
Yeah, I assume so.
So did you test anything out there, or has this purely been academic?
Academic as of yet.
Yeah, I thought so.
I mean, it's Lorem. Did you really have to ask?
No, I mean, Lorem's been on adventures, though.
Oh, yeah, of course, but, you know, with us, he doesn't really go off on his own. He is literally an academic.
Okay, but what if the heart was the friends you made along the way?
To be fair, how many of us would willingly venture into limbo?
Alone. Alone, however.
Okay, alone. So I thought you would have brought in like other research. You know, whatever. Don't worry about it. What if?
But regardless, Shrakitlor does have a heart of sorts. The city is divided into 6 rings, and at the center of the rings is the leader of their people, a person who has been their leader for almost as long as the Githzerai have been a people, separated from the Githyanki. Apparently, the namesake, Zerthamon, died soon after, during the big war, the civil war that separated the two. But another fellow came along, Menyar Ag. That's the name. I had trouble remembering it because, well, Menyar Ag. Anyway, it was apparently his idea to have the Githzerai found their homes in Limbo. And he has been their eternal leader ever since, using psychic energies to keep himself alive. And even so, he has not slept, not eaten, been nothing more than a mostly lifeless husk whose words must be heard only through the mind. And yes, I am aware of the parallels between this and the Emperor in Warhammer 40k.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was definitely thinking it.
What is this Warhammer 40k of which you speak?
I'm not sure which set of lore came first, but there was doubtlessly some amount of overlap between the two.
I'm guessing they were probably just both inspired by some random old fantasy thing that none of us have ever heard of.
Things can be original. It can happen.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, but...
Yeah.
I mean, I would think that, or maybe it's...
I don't know how original the people who write D&D and Warhammer really are. I mean, like, no offense,
Well,
but
I mean,
they're both fairly derivative.
Well, when I say that, I mean not inspired by something else.
2E was probably written by people who had some originality in their bones. Definitely not anything after that, though.
Well, I'm getting this from a 5e book, so I don't know how backdated the lore goes.
Fair enough.
Regardless, it may be that reaching Menyar Ag could provide us with the information we're looking for. Perhaps, having lived so long in Limbo, he would be aware of where this spirit of chaos resides.
Yeah, I'd rather go ask him than go deal with the Slod.
Yeah, it does seem a lot more likely that we would get a real answer from him.
And it probably works in our favor that we did give him aid previously.
Indeed, but even despite that, it should be emphasized that we would not likely gain easy entry to Menyar Ag. As I said, the city is built out of several concentric rings, and as a people, the Githzerai are intensely xenophobic. Not aggressively so as their cousins, the Githyanki, but still not ones to easily let foreigners into their sanctus.
Yet even
Yes,
nice awareness of threat.
Still, I can't imagine it could be any more difficult than trying to get a straight answer from a Slod.
Indeed, even the intelligent ones tend to claw first and ask questions later.
You know, that said, I don't want to rule anything out prematurely. If we have leads in the other direction, I suppose they could be worth pursuing. I just don't know really where you would start there. Simply trying to find the spawning stone, or was that what it was called?
Yeah.
Yes. Explorers, from what I understand, have laid eyes upon it previously, but it does not stay in one place as much as anything can stay in one place in limbo. And the slod themselves are guarded extremely voraciously. They are perfectly aware that without it, their species is essentially doomed.
That does make sense, yes.
Yeah.
And if they're aggressively minded, it'd be looking at a massacre just to get answers.
Indeed.
Yeah. It does seem like the more obvious option is to speak to the Githzerai, like speaking out of character. Also, in character, Aurelia would, as a more lawful type of person, might prefer to deal with the Githzerai than try to figure out what to do with the slod.
The way I look at it is one group will probably attack us first before we ask them questions, and one group definitely will attack us first before we get questions. And you know what? I think I'd rather go with the probably.
Well, I don't know if the Githzerai will attack us. They just might. It seems more likely that they would just stonewall us, like that they just won't be helpful, rather than they will, actively attack us. My understanding is that they probably won't attack us unless we actually do something to piss them off.
I will add that we do have a way of at least getting to their front door, so to speak. One of my colleagues has had extensive contact with the Githzerai. As a matter of fact, the idea that they would destroy an entire planet just to remove a mind flayer cell was quite ridiculous. But I will also add that I checked his travel records after that and noticed that he was off planet when the ultimatum would have come due. And I do not recall informing him or anyone else in the collegiate about the impending attack.
Okay, well, that's a little fishy, but...
Yes.
Yeah, it'll definitely be helpful.
Well, knowing what I know now, I can see why they would want to destroy the entire planet. If the Illithids were able to gain control over the Mother Tree's root network that extends across the entire upper crust of the planet, now the only thing to do to prevent them from gaining all of that power, near godlike power, would be to destroy the network.
Well, luckily, it doesn't matter now.
Indeed.
That said, we can put the screws to him. That's what matters.
Well, the thing is that I did manage to get the coordinates for one of the teleportation circles that are set up outside of the city. The Shraklor. He assured me that there are no teleportation circles within the city itself for security reasons.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is a bit unrelated, but now I think about it, how does tenure work when you live for hundreds of years?
Probably just really hard to get.
Forced retirement.
Okay. I was just wondering, is all.
I have been planning what I will be doing 30 years from now.
Oh, what is that?
Once my tenure runs out.
What do you want to do? Tell us your dreams. I promise I won't make fun of you.
Lilly, I'm going to hold you to that promise.
A bestiary of South Kalagia. Since all the beasts there are intelligent, I imagine it will be quite the fascinating study.
That's neat, actually.
Cool.
I mean, at that point you may as well just learn about their cultures too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just enjoy your foray into anthropology.
Well, it's not exactly anthropology.
They're pretty anthro.
Those seem to vary from species to species.
You know, I might actually be curious enough to look that up. Should
I
you
mean, it's something worth doing.
Well, I'm an elf. I will be taking my time.
God, you people.
Regardless, we do have business to attend to in the near future. And if you want to look at the copy of the planar guide that I've written, you're more than welcome to come over. I did manage to finish that a while ago now.
Yeah, has it hit print?
Has it hit what?
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 What? But yeah, no, that the sound. Does it have pictures? Does it have pictures? Did you draw?
Well, I didn't draw, but it does have pictures.
Yes, I'll check it out. I say despite the fact that Lilly reads normally anyway, but...
I was about to say, you don't need pictures to read.
Literally have a fucking spell book. Look, the pictures make it more enticing. Also, I want to see the interpretation they have.
Hmm. But yes, Limbo is next. And it sounds
Yay.
like you're going with the somewhat more likely Githzerai.
Yeah.
Can't wait to learn that to get to the heart of Limbo, you have to believe that you're going to the heart of Limbo.
I am fully expecting that, to be honest.
I mean, to find the bottom of the abyss, we did have to go up, so...
You need to create the heart of Limbo around yourself.
But at the same time, you didn't...
Maybe the real heart of Limbo, the friends we made along the way.
I already
was-
made that joke.
About to say it, but then I remembered that Lilly had already said it, so...
Already made that fucking joke.
And I will say that you did not have to believe that you were going up to go up in the abyss. You did actually need directions.
Yeah.
To be fair, yeah. To be fair, Limbo is formed by thought, so...
Yeah. So, if you're thinking I'm going to get to the heart...
Let's speedrun this adventure and just think about that.
I will say, if you had thought of going up on the plane of infinite portals, I would have allowed it. But then that would have been more likely if you had decided on approaching one of the other demon lords and spent more of your actual time in the abyss.
I mean, at this point, if anyone knows about going up, it's Grunash. The entire city plaza goes flying downwards, and he decides to run up a pillar.
Look, it's fine. Lilly got to meet a lovely pirate and also have a deep debate with a lich.
Lily's next downtime should be tracking down the Lich Black Room.
I mean...
Probably in a different sphere altogether.
Probably.
Fucker probably hid it on Forgotten Realms,
Hey,
hoping
to be
everyone would
fair,
get so
it may
bored
not
that they
even
would
be
just
on
leave
this-
before they found it.
Yeah, to be fair, it may not even be on this plane. Who knows?
Just by chance, you end up finding the phylactery in Limbo just hovering there somewhere.
So unless you guys have any further business, we can get straight into Limbo.
Yay.
Yay!
Sounds
And
good.
Laura mentions that he also acquired one of the limbo tuning forks off of his fellow college professor.
Who just happened to go missing around the deadline. Just happened to take a vacation.
Gonna grill him.
I will say that he was not initially willing to give up the coordinates for the teleportation circle and the fork, and that I did not have to pay a single copper piece to get these.
Oh. Good on you, Laura. I'm proud of you.
Well, we don't learn spells of the 8th circle without taking a few tricks on how to motivate people.
Mm-hmm.
Worm's fucking cutthroat, who knew?
I feel like we've been a bad influence, though.
So let me just ask, Lorem is definitely volunteering to go with you and has all of the spells necessary to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to bring anyone else along?
Does Silky want to come?
Silky is willing to come.
Does any of like
Does she want to? I mean, you know, if she wants to do her own thing, that's fine. But she's always welcome.
She doesn't even have any official duties back north anymore because she is now married to you.
Yay. She probably has official duties now. Ooh, now when I introduce her, I can introduce her as Princess of
God.
Vienna.
Oh my god.
Look,
Please never introduce her.
look, I'm just sad we can't bring Harvey.
No, yeah, that really wouldn't work, would it?
That's not. That is not a thing we should do.
Harvey
That
is a
would-
very solid no-go.
That would go profoundly south.
We go, hey Harvey, you want? No.
Harvey doesn't.
Yeah, okay, well, let's bring Silky then.
Yeah, I don't know who else would be able to bring, so.
All right. The spell is cast. The chaos of limbo surrounds you, and between Lorem and Lilly, who, as it turns out, are both natural chaos formers, you create a bubble of reality around yourselves.
Look, you get used to dealing with shit shows enough. You gotta put them back together. Fucking piece of shit always get in the way, goddamn.
And so, using the new piece of solid rock that you've created, Lorem also sketches out a teleportation circle. And gets you with no muss, no fuss to the outskirts of the great Githzerai city, Sharklor. I'm just going to type that out here so you believe me.
I mean, I 100% believe you. This looks like.
That's how you write down choking sound. Okay, good.
This looks like some awesome ass like 2E artwork.
Ah, good old Schrachtler.
Rachel.
Schrachtler.
Racha.
Going down to Schrachtler.
Worth noting, the apostrophes denote syllable breaks.
No, I'm aware.
Yeah.
Well,
Going down to Shark Attack.
Shark lore.
I'm not.
Okay, that doesn't work. That's
I'm not trying
fucking...
to pronounce his name correctly. I'm just making fun.
Visit in Shark Attack City.
What? Like I.
No, that wasn't in character.
I'm just sorry. I'm getting mad about people doing stupid language shit. Like, come on. What? How is this language supposed? Fuck off.
Just be like Lilly
I do
and
not
always...
think there is a single language where KT could possibly be a fucking syllable.
Look, just always be like Lilly and deliberately get things wrong when you don't like them.
I'm just
Like
going to call it
Attack City.
track floor.
Speaking of Jaws.
So, as soon as you appear on the teleportation circle pad,
Fuck you, Tiamo. I'm sorry, Bobbin. Go on.
well, you are Rai, who appear to be unarmed but are taking combat stances. And one of them shouts out something in a language you don't understand.
God, if only I understood Shark Attack.
Don't we have several casters with tongues?
We have like one caster with tongues.
Are you counting Marlia in that? Because I know I've got it.
I don't think Visk ever packs tongues.
No, I gave up on that a while back, I think.
Okay, yes, I'm casting tongues then.
All right. The range of tongues is touch, so you can designate someone to be the party talker.
The cunning linguist. Well, I think we all know who that should be.
If only you had more arms.
Yeah.
Also, once you hit level 19, you won't need tongues.
No, I won't. No.
I mean, I need my tongue. That's how I taste food.
But yeah, knowing I'm probably not the one who's going to be the smooth talker here, I pat Aurelia on the back and activate tongues.
Here we go.
Thank you.
I mean, it could be worse. I've seen worse. Let me tell you about light being apparently a touch spell. You ever light a man's codpiece? Regardless, go on.
Okay, and yeah, once the spell is cast, the Gith who challenged you says, I will repeat, what is your business? Who are you and what is your business here?
I'm so glad that you asked.
Oh, here we go.
I am Aurelia de Zaffarani di Viana, Prince of Viana. This is my wife, Silky, whatever Silky's last name is. In character, Aurelia obviously knows Silky's last name. Princess of Viana. And these are our various companions. We have come here on a...
At this point, her last name is Zafrani.
Oh, really? Do they change do people change their name in Viana? Okay, fair enough. Silky the Zaffarani di Viana. And etc. etc. We are here on a diplomatic mission. We wish to speak to your leaders for the purpose of acquiring information that will help us complete a quest of great importance, not only to us, but also to all living things, including yourselves.
That is a bold claim to make.
It is. But it is also entirely true.
Stay here. I will go and see if what you say rings true to any degree. Do not move from that spot.
Very well.
As they speak to the party that came from Mynth, they would have some answers to that.
Aurelia turns and tells everyone, please don't move. We need to stay right here, and I don't know, these people seem like sticklers for the letter of the law, so,
Yeah,
best just not move at all.
I get it.
Well, we already know them to be a partisan of order when it comes to the chaos of this realm, so...
I mean, they were willing to destroy an entire planet because, 5 mind flayers were on it. I'm pretty sure they'll do worse.
Was it 5?
Was it 5 or was it only 3? I forget.
I thought it was more.
It was
Either way.
3.
I believe they gave you 5 heads to present, but that did include an Illithirid, which is kind of a big deal.
Either way, they were willing to destroy an entire planet for 5 things being on it. So yeah.
I'm glad I opened up my door. My cat looked me in the eyes, scrunched his face, and walked away.
Yeah, there's a cat here who can't always decide whether to go in or out.
Mm.
And after several minutes pass, something around maybe half an hour, the Githzerai who left returns, along with 2 others who seem to be in a brighter and more complicated outfit than the guards who have been standing watch without with hardly moving a single muscle this entire time. And upon returning, the Gith says, "Your arrival, it seems, has been anticipated."
We're getting that a lot lately.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm no longer surprised that you aren't surprised.
Our leaders have received word of your quest, the nature of it, the target of it. However, we cannot allow you to enter our city for nothing at all. Even our own people are not allowed into the central parts of the city until their minds have been cleared and their wills sharpened into knives. To do otherwise would be to introduce a disruption into the city, one that could lead to instabilities or even the destruction of the entire...
So you don't want disorder on this plane of chaos.
I understand completely.
We accept disorder as being a part of this world. But to understand what we are is more than just understanding order. You must also understand the power of one. What separates us from the orderly species on the other side of the Great Wheel is that we each take our own fates into our hands, personally. And we must teach you how to do the same if you wish to enter into the heart of our city. Now, normally this would be a process that would require years of training and study and meditation. However, under the circumstances, we will be presenting you with the heroic challenges instead.
Convenient.
There are 8 lessons you must learn, and at least 7 great deeds you must perform to learn them.
Okay, so one of the lessons is like on a free space. Good to know.
The final lesson will be taught to you by our leader himself.
Fancy.
I will start your journey with the first 2 lessons. I will explain why 2 momentarily. The first lesson is the lesson of flesh. In the beginning, the people who had become the Gith were nothing but thought. One day, that thought became aware of itself and became flesh. In becoming flesh, it became weak. In becoming weak, it became the targets of the Illithid. The Illithid were able to turn this weakness in upon itself and capture the Gith and turn them into nothing more than tools. However, the Illithid are creatures of flesh themselves. They have weaknesses of their own, and their arrogance has blinded them to this weakness, created gaps within their thinking, gaps that would become their downfall. Your task would have been to find and destroy a group of Illithid, but as I understand, you have already completed this task.
Yup.
True.
It was a fun time.
That grants you access to the exterior of this room, but not the interior of the city. To enter the city, you must learn the lesson of steel. When Zerthamon was studying the bodies left in the field of Fallow, he found one that was killed not by the removal of the brain, but by the slicing of the body with steel. It was then that he realized that strength does not come from knowing yourself alone, but from knowing your surroundings and how to use those surroundings and turn them into weapons to use against enemies and tools to assist friends. To prove your understanding of the lesson of steel, you must go to the astral plane. You must find a leader of the Githyanki and take their silver sword and present it to me. How you obtain it is up to your discretion. But know this. If a silver sword is taken from the Githyanki, the one who no longer has it will stop at nothing to get it back. And the one who would replace the person with the silver sword will do likewise in order to obtain the vacant position. Therefore, I suggest you do not keep it.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Very well. Then we will set out on this task, and when we have accomplished it, we will return here. Thank you for your assistance.
Understood. And as I said, the outskirts of the city There are resting places for Githzerai who are on patrol. Their hospitality shall be extended to you, should you need time to prepare.
Thank you.
If you speak with them, they may also inform you as to the location of a Githyanki patrol. We often keep tabs on where they go, so that we might ambush them when the opportunity arises. At which point he bows, turns, and actually just sort of awkwardly walks back to his station. Doesn't actually leave. This is where he waits.
Well, he's a quest giver, Bobbin. So, like, obviously he has to, be persistent in the environment.
Yeah, he even had the giant exclamation mark over his head too.
Yeah.
So it's a bit faded now because you've already accepted the quest.
Yeah, now it's time to do a fetch quest.
Yeah. Find 3 Githyanki silver sword.
I hope it's not one of those ones where you just have to keep killing them until one of them drops the sword. 10%
Gather 3
chance.
Githyanki asses.
All right. Well, that doesn't seem too difficult. I mean,
Yeah, we just find one of those guys and sword. Big deal. Oh, and then we present it, and then when we're done with presenting it, we just throw it somewhere. Yes.
yeah, I wasn't clear on if they were actually going to take it or if we
And
get
if
it
they
back
don't,
and
I'll
then
keep
we
it.
we dump it somewhere.
I'll take one for the team. I'll take it.
No, he seems to intend to keep it.
Damn.
He's just sort of warning you, don't hold on to it for too long. Unless you want to get Githyanki war party showing up wherever you happen to be.
Right.
It's fine. You just put it in the hole and then pawn it later. Can't find it if it's in the hole. I love my hole.
Was it made for you?
Damn right it was. If it wasn't, it sure is now.
Well, if nothing else, I could see to it not being tracked for 8 hours.
But,
sorry.
yeah, so you are allowed to leave the sort of protected dome in which the teleportation circle was etched. And outside you see the outskirts of a massive and very regularly built city. It certainly looks like it couldn't have been sculpted or piled up out of individual blocks so much as it was just sort of shaped out of nothing into the forms that now surround you.
Well, that does make sense.
Yeah. Massive stone statues and carvings and paintings cover every surface. Decorations hang from the mighty walls that surround the city and prevent you from seeing too much farther in. Great stone buildings rise up out of the distance, and just in the nearer to you, you see smaller, more modest buildings that appear to be barracks and mess halls and other places where soldiers are expected to assemble and practice and socialize. So yeah, when Githzerai come here from regular patrols or from other cities, they are expected to stay in the outskirts until they are permitted to go in further actually enter the city. And as such, there is plenty of places for foreigners such as yourselves to stay. Although you are not the only non-Githzerai present, but you don't see any non-Githzerai like for the next hour or so before you finally spot like one dude who appears to be some sort of merchant here.
Yeah, the dude.
I have a nice rug. Well, had a nice rug.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's see what's what.
Really brings the room together.
And
Just imagine
yes,
a new rug.
This time it doesn't smell like pee.
one nice thing about living in Limbo, cleanup is a breeze. And actually, yeah, just turning around the city, all you see is just elemental chaos. Just this calm, empty field, shining light, small animals zipping back and forth, and then just a wall of chaos and violence just immediately beyond where the field terminates.
So God. Now I'm just imagining someone trying to imitate something that they want. And they go to make it. Their memory's actually a little bit fuzzy on it, so it just ends up kind of mushy and misshapen.
Yeah, that's why they do a lot of training here. Anyway, the chef who serves you a meal takes requests, and so long as he's heard of the kind of food you suggest or understands the ingredients you list off for it, he can produce a fairly reasonable facsimile.
Time for Lake to ask for another aboleth steak.
No. That was a one-time thing just because I was eating.
Tastes like chicken.
Everything tastes like chicken, though. It's the
Chicken of
problem.
the sea.
I was just doing that because they said that they could get anything, so I was like, "Fuck, really? Okay."
Yeah, and he can make anything too.
yeah, but
What's
like
the
he's
problem?
making it out of his brain, so
I want to know what the local specialty is.
Funny enough, they don't really have one. Every Githzerai who asks for food has their own particular tastes.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I
I
really
Alright,
want
feel
is
like
there a chef special?
Lilly, what ramen? That time over on the continent. Fuck. North Korea.
North- Kolachia,
Surely
yeah,
this
like-
chef must have a dish that he's most proud of.
like seriously, I was gonna say like something North Kalachian.
Look, she got a. It's been a while. She got a craving.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that the chef is willing to basically work with you and your memory of the food, which unconsciously actually shifts the taste of the meal as you eat it. Because your mind also changes what exists here too. And as for Aurelia, the chef definitely has his own preferences and presents you a dish that includes them. It's, well, let's say it's a very Mediterranean flavors. Lots of olive oil, along with just a hint of garlic and lots of grains.
My friend, you should visit Vienna one of these days. I think you'd like it. All right. Well, I assume Silky gets like a, I don't know, dragon steak. I don't think she actually eats dragons, but whatever.
Well, I've had to in the field more than once. I try not to, though. It's a little. The elements that they breathe get into the meat, and it is not a good kind of addition.
I guess reds are kind of smoky then.
Double smoked red dragon steak.
Red dragons give you indigestion.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
Green dragons taste like they've been soaked in vinegar. And too much vinegar.
Yeah, that was not a good.
And black dragon meat is just straight up poison.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, that tracks.
Check that.
What about white dragon? Does it just like not ever cook properly and it's always cold?
Yeah.
That character, I think that's just.
It's fine if you like the blue steak.
Actually, are there ways to treat black dragon meat? Like, somebody has to have come up with a method, right? Some culture.
I mean, we eat poisonous fish all the time.
There are usually not enough dead dragons around to build a kind of cultural meal out of it.
This is also true.
Out of character, I'm just thinking about the fucking piss shark, okay?
I'm thinking of fugu.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Greenland Shark is the proper name for it.
Oh.
Which is, the meat is toxic because of certain chemicals that are always in it. And it smells like piss. It's also the longest lived shark, I think, sea animal in general. Because it can live up to about 500 years.
Oh, damn.
Give or take. They're not completely sure.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But in fact, your discussion about dragons does get the locals' attention. A couple of them are able to speak the sort of plainer common that has sort of assimilated its way into your brains. And when you started talking about dragons, they spoke. One of them spoke up and said, "Yeah. So, how many red dragons have you faced?"
One?
Most of us only faced one, but my wife here.
Oh my fucking god.
7, most of them young. Seven. Killed 7? She nods. That is a good count. We often face red dragons. The leader of their kind made a pact with the Lich Queen of the Githyanki. And so their generals fly on the backs of red dragons.
Yeah, the one we killed was an adolescent.
And you can see the sparkle light up in Silky's eyes as she hears this news.
There was a time that we killed a large adult silver dragon. That was a fun time. Trauma.
Yeah, that was long after the red one as well.
I'm still wearing the red one's skin.
I mean,
I'm wearing the silver one skin.
I mean, I have the silver's head mounted. What's your point?
I took a couple teeth. I took a couple teeth from all of them.
Should have tried the meat.
Except for the shadow dragon. I didn't get any teeth from the shadow dragon.
I got goop from the shadow dragon.
Yeah.
I'm having a nice tasteful glass dragon made to just pour it into, you know? No? Okay.
No.
It's really gonna be tasteful.
Yeah. Last I heard, you gave it to a wizard to turn it into a potion.
I never did that.
Well, it was pretty much the only practical thing you could do with it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
Fuck. I wanted to keep it on display.
If I
too,
had
but-
been thinking, I would have asked
Well,
for
if-
a little bit of
I
the
mean,
group
if you
to
want
put
to do
into like
something, I mean, sure, if you want to do something impractical with it, go ahead.
you
not
got a
gonna
fucking problem with that? I'll have it made into no, it's that's right. I wanted to drink it. That's right.
did.
Yeah.
It would have killed you.
Yeah, and yeah.
Sorry, it's been a week. Yeah, that's right. I want to drink the
If
dragon.
I had been thinking, I would have asked for some of the dragon goop to put it into like a glass, like dragon tube, so that
Delicious.
way I could. Like,
Okay, but I'm
that.
gonna get dragon juice.
I haven't.
I bet you it's grape flavor.
But I hate grape flavor.
That's a you problem.
Actually, no. In real life, I don't mind grape flavor. It's the orange flavor, fucking Delsum. Like...
But yeah, just Lily's gonna look at me. And yeah, I think we want to kill like 3 dragons.
Or
Does
no.
the undead one count? The 2
Oh
actually.
yeah, 4. That's right, 4. Because there was the adolescent red, then there was the Draco Lich, then
there was the silver
adult
dragon.
silver dragon, and then there was the adult shadow dragon.
Yes, and the shadow dragon is not quite undead so much as just corrupted by negative energy. Weird middle ground, but regardless, the Githzerai who are talking you are already getting into their war stories about fights against the Githyanki during raids through the material plane, occasional raids into the astral plane.
God, it always turns into this. Always, every time.
Yeah, while we're on that topic, Aurelia's gonna sort of slide in there with do you as it happens, we've been tasked with finding a were we told exactly what like rank of Githyanki has a silver sword?
You are told to obtain a silver sword.
All right, but I mean,
but these Githzerai, as soon as you tell them you're looking for a silver sword, would certainly be able to tell you that only Yankee generals are gifted with the silver swords.
They're the ones that ride on the dragons.
Yes. And also go nowhere without a small legion of highly trained professional soldiers.
okay, that part might be an issue.
A little bit.
That's something I figured.
And so if you want to separate a Githyanki from their silver sword, you're going to have to figure out a way to separate them or else fight your way through a small army.
Right.
I think we
I'd
could take
rather
a
not
small
do
army. I mean, I'd rather not do it. But I think we could, and that's the important part.
I think we could take a small army if that small army were composed of, not particularly fearsome soldiers.
Let's put
if
it
it were a
You're
small
saying
army
cannon
of capable enemies, that would be a whole different matter.
Yeah. I'm going
Yeah.
based purely off of what I remember from the book, which is like Githzerai are like cap out at challenge rating 5 for Githyanki or whatever.
Githyanki Supreme Commanders have 10 Kithrak underneath them, and the Kithrak have 10 Sarths. Kithrak have a challenge rating of 12.
Oh.
10 of them could mess your shit up.
Yeah, I can see that. So
Yeah.
maybe we don't fight a small army.
Yeah, and frankly, even if we could take them, that doesn't seem like the most effective way of approaching the task. So
No. Like this is
You could
this
just
is
steal the sword.
definitely a think smarter, not harder situation.
Yeah, let's see if our new friends can offer any advice as to the best way of finding a general.
Well, typically the generals lead active patrols or raids, depending on where they are at the time. The raids can delve into pretty much any of the prime material plane's planets, and occasionally they've also been known to go spell jamming. But if nothing else, to keep up with the Illithid, who also have spell jammers.
And yet none of them participate in the race. Sad.
No, not this year's race, no.
It happened too quickly. Like it was off the usual rotation, so.
Right. And so they explain that they do track patrols and they can. So that's not going to be an issue, but the raiding part, or the patrol, is going, to their knowledge, is like fully stocked up with a small army's worth of people. Like, this is like a long-ranging patrol through the astral plane to look for enemies, slaves, resources, pretty much whatever they can find. The astral plane is full of just sort of the detritus of thoughts produced by the prime material plane, so there's really no telling what you can find. And at any point you could walk through one of the many portals that connects it to the other outer planes and gather more resources from there before heading back into the astral, which the Gith, for the most part, can do at will. Much like their enemies, the Illithids, the Githyanki have the ability pretty much at any level to just plane shift to wherever they want to be. And they also mention that that's actually going to be one of the difficulties you face, because if you back a Supreme Commander into a corner, they will exit the plane to get away from you.
Right. Well, I mean, there are ways of stopping that.
Then you'd better make sure you're using one. Anyway, at this point, I can give you more information if you have questions, but I believe we should save the planning and execution of this mini heist / assassination. Could go either way. That all can happen next time.
Yes.
Makes sense.